Hi there, my name is Daniel Johnson and I am the author of Game Design Companion, a critical analysis of Wario Land 4. And in this video I'm going to run you through the game's camera design. The first thing that you'll notice is that the camera by default positions Wario in the horizontal center of the screen. The reason for this is that the level design flows from both left to right as well as right to left. So it's important that the players give it enough visual leeway on both sides of Wario. Vertically, Wario's default position is a bit below the vertical center. It's like this because it's better for the player if they see more of this sky area, which is usually occupied by platforms, as opposed to the ground area, which is just a giant mass of terrain that the player normally can't interact with. This room sits within a bounding box, so you'll notice that as Wario moves towards the edges of the room, the camera will stop tracking him. So right here I'm moving horizontally and then the camera stops tracking. And if I move over into this corner and I jump, you'll see that the camera won't track me vertically, and it's the same as I walk down this staircase here. The camera tracks me vertically until it stops just for a bit. These bounding boxes are used throughout Wario Land 4 to manipulate the camera in particular ways. Primarily though for two uses. The first is to simplify gameplay and the second is to facilitate gameplay. In this area here, the bounding box is as tall as the screen itself, stopping the camera from tracking vertically. And what this does is it cleans up the gameplay, because really there's no need for the camera to track me vertically here. Doing so would only distract the player. And if I move a bit to the right, you'll notice that the camera will click onto this second bounding box. So we can see that this room is actually divided into two smaller units. Just here, Wario falls through one screen and into another. There are three bounding boxes that divide this room into horizontal chunks. We just saw the first, here is the second, and here is the third. In rooms like this one here, the camera is as wide and as tall as the screen. So no matter where I move, the camera won't track me at all, and just like before, there's really no need for the camera to move at all. This room probably has the most sophisticated camera design in the whole game, so take a look and see if you can figure out what's going on. What's happening is several bounding boxes are working together to facilitate look, cover, right, check gameplay, where the player needs to memorize the location of these two platforms. Step by step, that's look, cover, right, and check. This area looks like a complete room, but it's actually only half a room. Here's the second half. There's a small bounding box just here that facilitates a smooth transition from one half to the other. At the start of this level, these crystals tempt the player to jump down into the area below, where there's a reasonable chance that Wario will land in the water. Once there, these crystals just here are brought into view, prompting the player to swim onwards and probably finish this level. The crystals and the bounding boxes work together to divert the player's attention away from this secret passage. In the next room, the limited visual leeway beneath Wario is used to create a reflex-based challenge where the player needs to quickly move Fat Wario so as to gather the crystals. And in this area here, there's a bounding box that prevents the camera from scrolling over to the left. If it weren't for that bounding box, the camera would reveal the secret in the other area. The one weakness in Wario Land 4's camera is that it only offers a limited view of the area beneath Wario. This can be a huge problem when falling. Fortunately, the level design compensates for the camera in several ways. I've got two examples for you. The first one can be seen just below. These crystals guide the player down to the ground floor. The second is that many of the areas that Wario can fall are actually narrow columns where the player can't freely move about, such as this column here and the one that'll come after. The other thing worth mentioning is that Wario Land 4's level design tends to avoid falling. And that brings us to the end of this video. I talk about Wario Land 4's design in full in my book, Game Design Companion, a critical analysis of Wario Land 4. It's 600 pages and I cover everything from game feel, mechanical balance, level design, education, psychology. So if you're interested, you can find out more in the video description below, and thank you very much for watching.